intellectual revolution is well in place. There was an intellectual revolution prior to our first revolution that lasted probably 100 years. And the founders were well versed in history. They knew about the Magna Carta. They knew about Old Testament history. They knew the dangers of kings. So they were well versed about property rights. And finally there was a political action, which was the revolution, the writing of the Constitution. Well, today the intellectual revolution is much more successful than what we see in Washington. This has been going on for 30 or 40 years. It's been quiescent, but it has been now bearing fruit today with this generation, because it is this generation that has required that we bring forth in a presidential election for the first time since the Fed was started, that the Federal Reserve is an issue in this presidential election. But the intellectual revolution now is in place, and we're reacting to that, and I think that's the hard work. But we are further along than I ever dreamed. Let me tell you, I always worked on the assumption that maybe I could vote and try to set my standard the best I can. Maybe somebody in later years would look and say, yeah, I think he understood what was going on. But believe me, the revolution is alive and well and growing by leaps and bounds. It looks like truly it is an idea whose time has come, and armies will not stop us, nor will the government stop us. You know, in the 1960s they had a saying that if you weren't a bleeding heart liberal when you were 20, you didn't have a heart. And then they also said that if you weren't a good conservative by the time you were 40, you didn't have a brain. And I'm suggesting that the freedom movement has both a heart and a brain at the same time. True revolution should have high standards and high ideals and high goals that we have to strive for something that seems almost impossible. And it seemed to me that it was impossible. I think it's possible now. I really believe it is possible for you as a generation to bring about the changes in a very positive way. So, but the striving for what seems to be impossible is key. But it does require passion. It does require the emotions and people to get charged up and involved and taken upon themselves. This is what's happening around the country. Individuals throughout the country aren't getting directions from me or our campaign, but they're spontaneously getting involved, and they're doing the thing that they want to do, and they get very much involved. But this revolution is involved with not only passion but reason, and this is important. It isn't the fact that just we have the energy, but we have to answer the questions. We have to answer the questions why the foreign policy is wrong, answer the question why central banking is wrong, why it's silly to have paper money and not sound money, and why the entitlement system helps the wealthy, not the poor. You have to have those answers, and we can win if we get that information out.